massive political bias and anger, which is what it's morphed into, just a political anger. Now is the time. And you want to politically divide this nation now with all that's going on? How irresponsible and how reckless.
We're not yet ready to just send a blank check down to states and local governments to spend any way they choose to. I would certainly be in favor of allowing states to use the bankruptcy route. It saves some cities, and there's no good reason for it not to be available.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying no more for you states. He would rather you declare bankruptcy than get any more relief from the federal government. It's a position that puts him at odds with many elected officials. The governor of New York today, Andrew Cuomo, calling McConnell the Grim Reaper and saying this.
As soon as the Senate passed it, this current bill, Senator Mitch McConnell goes out and he says maybe the states should declare bankruptcy, okay? This is one of the really dumb ideas of all time. New York puts in more money to the federal pot than it takes out. His state takes out more than it puts in. Senator McConnell, who's getting bailed out here? It's your state that is living on the money that we generate. Your state is getting bailed out, not my state.
Heilman and Nick are back. Nick, I'm sorry. I mean, I asked Chuck Schumer if he had reached out to the White House to make sure that the White House didn't have McConnell's back on this, because that is sometimes an axis of a lot of mischief. And he says no, that is not his understanding of the president's position. Does Mitch McConnell, who's usually doing the president's bidding, find himself on an island here and wanting states to go bankrupt?
I think the senator is doing his own bidding here. He's looking for a moment of opportunity in a crisis. And this opportunity is to defund and defang the public employees unions by stripping those people of their pensions in a bankruptcy proceeding. And it's important to him politically, I think. It was a trial balloon. We'll see how far it gets. But Governor Cuomo, I think, is correct. I mean, it's like telling people or asking people to stop paying their taxes at the federal government. You can't control the spending of every single state and micromanage it in exchange for aid in a crisis.
You know, Heilman, it's obviously not a McConnell philosophy, because there's plenty of money flowing out to big business without really all that much oversight, yet he doesn't want states and cities to have federal aid. I can't imagine if after 9/11, the state and the city that was the target of the deadliest attack had been told that, you know what, if you guys can't bounce back, just file for bankruptcy. We'll change the law. I mean, it's just a ludicrous. The city that was the target of the deadliest attack had been told that, you know what, if you guys can't bounce back, just file for bankruptcy. We'll change the law. I mean, it's just a ludicrous abdication of his job.
Well, look, Nicole, I think there are two things to say about this. One is, you know, McConnell gave the game away in this context when he started referring to the money that's flowing to these states as blue state bailouts. That's his quote, blue state bailouts. That was one of the things that enraged Andrew Cuomo today, because that tells you about the politics of this. It's Trumpian politics. It's the politics of division. It's the politics of it is a fact that New York principally, but also California, Washington State, Michigan, the one that Trump carried in 2016, but those other big states, all big blue states, and the politics of regional and ideological resentment is at the core of what McConnell is saying here. He's basically saying, California and New York, we don't want to fund these big blue state bailouts. Let's let those states go bankrupt. That is never going to happen, because the second thing is the thing that Cuomo also pointed out, which was, if you want to see the market crash, watch California and New York declare bankruptcy. You want to see a stock market crash? There's a stock market crash for you, right? So it's never going to happen. It's not a question of whether it's going to happen. It's pure red meat to the Republican base. The blue state bailout. Let's let California and New York go bankrupt. It's poisonous. It's divisive at a time when we should be seeking unity. And instead, you've got Mitch McConnell. Whether Trump signed off on it officially or not, that is the kind of rhetoric that Trump has practiced from day one. And McConnell is singing from the same hymnal as Donald Trump, whether or not Trump gave him an explicit instruction to go out and sing that song.